Hello y'all, this is Sharon Henry again from simplysouthernfood.com and from my YouTube channel. Well, you're in my kitchen again with me today for another recipe. I hope you enjoy it. It is Fresh Apple-Peach Skillet Cake. This is a little bit of a version of your typical fresh apple cake, but it's my own version. So I'd like to give it to you, and you can find the recipe on simplysouthernfood.com, and also I'm going to put it in the credits at the end of my video. So first of all, I picked the peaches from our very own peach tree in our backyard. So today's the first day of June, so therefore there's no apples, so I couldn't pick any apples. And I'm using my trusty old iron skillet again. I already have. I've already got it cooked. I'm just going to show you the pictures of it and tell you about the recipe. It's a large wide skillet, and it's barely warm this time instead of hot and smoky, and it's generously coated with oil, vegetable oil. And you can use a baking pan if you want to. The recipe will have the size you can use. I believe it's a 13 by 9 by 2 inch pan. But what you're going to get, it's not going to be as good, I don't think. It's not going to be crispy around the edges and crunchy and browned as well as it is in an iron skillet. But some people might like that, so you can use it if you want. Batter for the cake is going to be extremely stiff, so you're going to have to use your hands to mix it. First of all, you need to coat them very well with oil. Keep them coated with oil, and you're going to sort of work the batter a little bit like you would kneading dough. Each time you add ingredients that makes the batter stiffer, just work it up a little bit more with your hands. Hope you don't mind getting them sticky. But if it is just extremely too stiff to work with for you, do not add water or milk, because the apples and the peaches are going to moisten the cake mix well enough, especially the apples, because there's more apples in it than there are peaches. And you can add another egg if you really have to thin it down a little bit. You can add another egg and about a half a cup of oil if it's absolutely necessary. But, and oh, you know something, we always use soy oil, and we use our own eggs from our chickens, our backyard chickens. So I hope you've got fresh eggs, but if you don't, any eggs will do. All right, you remember to add all the dry ingredients first, except for the nuts. You save those for last. You mix them in last. And you mix all the wet ingredients together and stir them really well before you add them to the mixture. Use those oily, slippery hands. You dig into that mix, fold it together, and mix it well. Also, then you're going to be dipping it out and putting it into the skillet, because it won't really pour. But anyway, dip, dig, pour, dump, whatever you want to call it, the mixture into the skillet or the baking pan. Flatten it out too with your hands, or you can use, this is where you can use the back of a large spoon or something to flatten it out. And put it in your preheated oven. It's a 450 degree, I'm sorry, not 450, wow, 350 degree oven. And you will get 12 wedges that are about 2 inches wide. If you've got some people that like to eat quite a big piece of cake, that would be a fairly large piece. If you use a baking pan, you'll get 12 bars that are about 3 inches by 4 inches. Now, it needs to cool before you eat it somewhat, because it needs to set up and firm up. If it's not really firm enough in the center and it still seems doughy, maybe you need to cook it a little bit longer, maybe another 10-15 minutes. You can actually do that even after you've sliced it. But if you put a toothpick in it right in the very middle and it comes out clean, it should be done. But if you feel that it needs cooked a little longer, as long as it doesn't get too hard around the edges or burn, then it's all right to cook it a little longer. And serve it after it cools down. And it's really good if you frost it with powdered sugar. If you want some sort of sweeter taste to it, because it's not a real sweet cake. But if you want to, you can dust it with powdered sugar once it's cool, or you can fix a cream cheese, powdered sugar, vanilla frosting to go on it. And then you can serve it with ice cream plain if you'd like. It's good that way. And it's really good to serve it with like a cup of milk, glass of milk, a cup of coffee, whatever your choice of a drink is with it. A lot of people like coffee around here. Not very many people drink milk. I do, but not very many others. But if you want to, like for breakfast or just an in-between meal snack or whatever, you can slice it and butter both sides of the slice if you want to, and fry it a little bit in a skillet, just a hot skillet, and turn it over a couple times like you would if you're doing, we do toast that way a lot of times down here, cinnamon toast. I can't remember the name of the one where you beat the egg up and everything. Anyway, French toast maybe it is. You can do it sort of like that, butter it and fry it, toast it a little as your breakfast meal or snack, whatever you want to call it. The flavor actually gets stronger after it sets in the refrigerator overnight, and you do need to refrigerate it, by the way. And you can also freeze this cake and have it at a later date. The only thing is, once it sits in the refrigerator overnight, it becomes more like a cake and less like a firm bread. It gets moist and the flavors intermingle. You can taste the apple and the peaches a lot better. And something else you can do too is, if you want to, you can leave off 1 cup of the apples and add another cup of peaches. You could also, if you want the fresh apple pineapple cake, you can substitute pineapple for the peaches. You could actually even just, they would be canned pineapple or fresh pineapple. Fresh pineapple is better because it has to cook so long. Anyway, I guess that's really just about it. So you remember to keep a watch for my Southern Biscuits recipe. And I would really appreciate any comments that you can make for me to help me out. And if you subscribe, you'll get updates as they're available when I put out new videos, I believe. So thanks for watching. Bye. And y'all come back to see me soon, okay? Bye.